Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Riku Mukherjee. Welcome to the 5 of 6 podcast. I am rolling absolutely solo tonight. Tony is busy traveling. He's going to Las Vegas tomorrow, so he's busy packing and stuff like that. Just played in a golf tournament with him earlier this morning, and we finished first in a scramble, tied for first, so we took it home. But just wanted to hop on here real quick and just do a quick little pod for this week's Bermuda Championship. Probably the worst field you're ever going to see in a PGA Tour event. But the money's still the same on DraftKings. There's good contests, 100K to first, and multiple contests and stuff like that. So I just wanted to run through some of my plays that I like in each DraftKings range. I'm not really going to go into any slides with any model numbers, anything fancy that Tony usually has for production value, but I'll just kind of just run through every single tier here and talk about who I like. I don't really have much of a background on this course or whatever. I know it's in Port Royal in Bermuda. It's a full field event, top 65 in ties. We have a cut again. Some pretty key numbers here usually are strokes gained approach, strokes gained tee to green, birdie or better. It's a course we've seen the last 3 years, and gets pretty windy there, I guess. I was looking at the radar for later this week, and it's looking like the wind might be down on Thursday and might be pretty windy Friday morning. So we'll see how that kind of matures throughout the week. I don't know how that's going to be. Obviously, if we see some sort of weather advantage, if Friday morning's pretty bad and we like the AM PM wave, then we'll put it out on Discord. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to the pod, please like, comment, and subscribe to Nickel City Mafia. Join our Discord. It's in the link. The link to join the Discord is in the description of the video down below. Usually, sometimes we'll chat about there before the tournament. If I do see an advantage, I'll tag you and let you know what I see. I usually put out like bets, and Tony will put out some bets that he has on Wednesday. So I'm not really going to talk about bets. I haven't placed any bets yet. So we'll see how that goes. And just join the Discord. And if there's any updates to what I like, any changes, any weather advantages, I'll put it out on my write-up on Wednesday. So let's get into it. Like I said earlier, it's a pretty weak field. That's obvious with the guys here that we have priced above 10K. Leading it off at the top at 10.5 with Thomas Dietrich. Then we got Denny McCarthy at 10.4, Adrian Moronk, Seamus Power, Aaron Rai, and Mark Hubbard to round out the top 6 golfers in this field above 10K. Now, some of these guys, you might be looking at these names and be like, who is Adrian Moronk? Who is Aaron Rai? Who's even Thomas Dietrich at the top? I mean, these guys are pretty well-known guys on the European Tour and DP World Tour, and they've made the small transition to the PGA Tour. Aaron Rai and Thomas Dietrich have been on the tour for the last year. Adrian Moronk, I don't know exactly what he's doing here. He might have gotten some sort of like entry into here, because as far as I know, he does not have his card. So I think he might have just got some sort of like sponsors exemption into here, but he's one of the best players in the world. And he, he's like a top 50 golfer in the world. He's won multiple times on the European Tour. So he's appropriately priced here at 10.3, I think. But he's obviously going to be one of the lowest owned guys here, because people just don't know who he is and don't want to click his name. They'd rather click, Denny McCarthy or Seamus Power up and below him, where they know those names. But, for me up here, see the thing with this week is that these guys aren't priced where you normally see them. I mean, Thomas Dietrich and Denny McCarthy, these are usually like 7 max 8K golfers, and seeing them at 10,000 and above is kind of a shock, like kind of sticker price here. So you just got to remember that they're appropriately priced here because of the field strength, and these are probably if you're going to ask my opinion, these are probably the 6 best golfers in the field. So they are appropriately priced in the betting market. They're appropriately priced on DK. DK just has their algorithm for pricing, so they have to put some guys up here to start your lineups off. So I don't really know like where ownership is going to flood at all. If I was to guess, it was probably going to be go to Denny McCarthy here, just because he's played here 3 years in a row, top 15 finish 3 years ago, fourth place finish 2 years ago, and then a 39th last year. So made the cut 3 straight years. Seamus Powers also made the cut 3 straight years here. So my guess is ownership's going to kind of flood to those two guys. I'll roll with Thomas Dietrich here at the top. I don't mind him. He's been playing pretty decent on tour over the course of the last couple months. He usually does pretty well in these kind of like birdie fests and stuff like that. And that's what this is going to be. If the wind isn't too crazy, then it's going to be a birdie fest. So I don't mind playing some Thomas Dietrich up top. If Denny McCarthy is the highest owned guy in this range, which I expect him to be, I'll just fade that because I'm not going to play a chalk Denny at 10,400. I don't mind Mark Hubbard at 10,000. I've been playing a lot of him the last like couple months, and he's been pretty solid coming into this event. He's made like 3 out of his last 5 cuts, or actually 4 out of his last 5 cuts with, some top 20 finishes, a 5th place finish 3 events ago. So I don't mind Mark Hubbard here. I think he suits his course pretty well. I'm not going to play Seamus Power. He's been pretty god awful recently. I don't like his form coming in. He's been losing strokes on approach like in every event recently. So I'll be off the Seamus Power train here. So up above 10K, I'd probably say overall my favorite play is probably going to be Hubbard at 10,000, just because, he's probably, he's obviously the cheapest guy here, so you're going to get some savings here, and he's probably equally skilled as any of these guys up here. So I'll take the savings there and say Hubbard's my favorite play here. Thomas Dietrich is going to be my second favorite play here. I think he's the best golfer in this field skill-wise. I'm going to fade Denny just because if it comes out that he's going to be lower owned than these guys, then I might play some Denny just because of his course history here. But my guess is he's going to be pretty highly owned in this range, and I'll be happy to fade that. So Mark Hubbard for me, best play. Thomas Dietrich, second best play. And my bubble boy in this range is going to be Aaron Rai. He finished 62nd here last year, so he made the cut, but nothing too spectacular. He's been playing all right recently. His last few events has been a 36th, a 20th, and a 61st, and then a 5th before that. So not terrible form coming in. So he's going to be kind of on the bubble for me. So I'll just go ahead and say he's my bubble boy, but I think I'm rolling Mark Hubbard here. All right, dropping down to the 9s. Now we're going to get into some more names that we don't know. Justin Lower, he's at 9,900, kicks it off, and people probably don't know who he is. Then there's, people like Nick Hardy, Patrick Rogers, some more familiar names. S.H. Kim at 9,600. Alex Smalley, Grayson Sigg, Steven Yeager, Russell Knox, Robbie Shelton, and Adam Long. Oh, no, Adam Long's in the 8K range. So Robbie Shelton's going to round out the 9K range at 9,100. I'm going to go ahead and say my favorite play in the 9K range is going to be Alex Smalley at 9,500. I think he's a very solid play right there in the middle of all these people. I finished 12th here last year. He has decent form coming in. He's been playing pretty good recently. I've been playing him a lot the last month or so in the swing season. He's been paying off his price tag when he's priced in the low 7s. We'll see where he is at 9,500. I think the ownership in this range is probably going to flood towards Patrick Rogers and Russell Knox, just because they have pretty good course history here. Russell Knox has made all 3 cuts, 3 top 20 finishes here, 9,200. I can't play a chalky Russell Knox. He might have great form here, but he's been pretty bad recently. A couple missed cuts in a row, 3 out of the last 5 missed cuts. Nothing to write home about. So if he's going to be the chalk here, I'll fade him. But if he's going to be lower owned, I don't mind playing him. Just playing the course history narrative. I don't mind Patrick Rogers. I think that he's a really good wind player. And if this course is going to get windy, I don't mind playing Patrick Rogers. He had a 4th place finisher last year, so he'll definitely be on my radar. But besides Alex Smalley, I'm going to go ahead and say my 2 favorite plays besides him are going to be S.H. Kim at 9,600, who I've been playing with frequency over the last few events. He's made 5 straight cuts. He's, had a 4th place finish a couple events ago, a 13th a couple events ago. This is his first time seeing the course. But I think he's a very good golfer. I know that he was priced in the 7s and the 6s just a couple weeks ago, but I think this is a deserved price at 9,600, kind of a price bump for him. And he's been playing really good golf recently, and he's a Korn Ferry graduate. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say the skill will override no course history here. And then my third favorite player here is going to be Steven Jaeger, 9,300. 20th place finish here last year. He also has 5 straight made cuts, but nothing to really write home about as far as like good finishes. They've all been like top 50 finishes in bigger boy events, but this is one of those events where I feel like if it's going to be a birdie fest with Steven Jaeger coming out of the Korn Ferry Tour, where every tournament is a birdie fest, basically, that this could be an event that he could thrive at. Like I said, he finished 20th last year. Deserved price here, 9,300. So for me, it's going to be my top 3 plays here are going to be number 1, Alex Smalley, number 2, S.H. Kim, number 3, Steven Jaeger. Russell Knox will be a fade for me if ownership applies to him, if he's a high ownership guy. And then Bubble Boy for me is going to be Patrick Rodgers, because I'm just not sure about his ownership. He has good form coming in, a couple top 20 finishes, 4th place finish last year. So I think ownership is going to be high on him. But if the ownership is flooding more towards Russell Knox, I'll play some Patrick Rodgers in this range. All right, let's keep it going. Like I said, it's going to be a pretty quick pod. If you guys are tuning in and have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will answer them. Sorry if I speak a little fast. Doing solo pods, I always get a little nervous. So I'm just here to run through these names. Dropping down into the 8s. We got some names here. We got leading it off at 8,900, Adam Long, Nick Taylor, Adam Schenk, and then at the bottom of the range, we got the likes of Michael Gligic, Eric Van Rooyen, just names that we are pretty familiar with. Pretty tricky range here. I don't really have any strong leans for anyone in this range, to be completely honest with you. If I was going to just simply play the course history narrative, we could lean towards somebody like let's see here. No one even really has like the greatest course history here, to be completely honest with you. Michael Gligic at 8,100. He's played here 2 out of the last 3 years. He made cuts both of those years. Brandon Wu had a 34th place finish in his only appearance last year. Austin Eckroyd had a 22nd last year in his only appearance. So just the fact that there's no one that in this range that's really seen the course no one's seen this course 3 times in the last 3 years. There's a couple made cuts here, but no one's ever had a top 10 finish in this range. So I think I'm just going to go with the pedigree for the golfers that I think are like good in this range. So I think Nick Taylor is a good play at 8,800. Skill wise, he's probably the best player in this range. He's obviously a PGA Tour winner. Adam Long, same thing at the top. Will Gordon's been playing pretty good recently. He has 5 cuts in a row made. Nothing great, but a couple top 30 finishes, but mainly like 40 to 50th kind of place finishes. He had a 34th here a couple years ago. He's a Southeast American guy. Like I think he went to LSU, and I don't really know if that translates here to Bermuda. I don't know how windy it gets down there, but I don't mind him at 8,600. Callum Tarrant at 8,200. It says WD next to his name for last year. I have no idea why he withdrew last year, but 2 out of his last 5 cuts made. He hasn't been very, good coming in. But his 2 cuts that he's made has been the 13th and the 27th, his last 2 out of his 5. So it's either a miscut or a nice finish for him. So if you're kind of playing that boom bust narrative, I don't mind the Callum Tarrant, play here. So for me, in this 8K range, I'm probably going to fade a lot of these guys in this range. I'm probably just going to go with the pedigree guys at the top, Adam Long and Nick Taylor, who are proven PGA Tour winners here. Adam Schenk also is a proven PGA Tour player. 26th place finish here last 2 years ago, a 16th and a 12th coming in his last 2 events. I actually don't mind that at all. Now that I'm looking at that, Adam Schenk, I think is going to probably turn out to be one of my better plays in this range. So if I'm going to rank my plays here, I'll just say Adam Schenk. Adam Schenk's going to be my favorite player here. I didn't even realize his form was that good coming in, and he has good course history here. So I'll say Adam Schenk's going to be my favorite player here. Nick Taylor is going to be my second favorite play here. I've been playing him pretty consistently in my lineups over the last few months, but he hasn't been really paying off that much. He's made 2 out of his last 5 cuts. He had a miscut here last year. I'm not too worried about that. Not too worried about that, excuse me. So I'll just say Nick Taylor's my second favorite play here. And then Callum Tarrant, just from a boom bust kind of perspective, like I said earlier, is not bad. And then probably my bubble boy here is going to be Brandon Wu, who has 3 straight made cuts coming in, 34th last year. Not a bad, pedigree. He's obviously from Stanford. And we know that Brandon Wu is good in like Birdie Fest. So we'll go ahead and roll with those guys in this range. But overall, I think I'm going to be pretty hesitant to play any of these guys in this range. I think for me, it's going to be a lot of guys, and then I'm going to pepper my lineups with 9K guys and 10K guys, and then maybe just skip the 8Ks and drop down to the 7. So yeah, I don't really have much takes here in the 8K range. So we'll see if there's a nice like ownership pivot or something like that, or somebody is getting heavy ownership for whatever reason, then maybe we could pivot to somebody. But like I said, I can write that up on my Wednesday Discord right up. All right, dropping down to the 7Ks. Leading off at the top is Cameron Percy, some guy who we never ever see in the 7K range except at this event. He's usually in the low 6s. So for some reason, he's priced over Doug Gim and Sam Ryder, who are way better golfers than him. Anyways, 7,900 Cam Percy, Doug Gim, Sam Ryder, Chesson Hadley at the top. Dropping down all the way to the bottom of the 7K range, we have the likes of Matthias Schwab, Nate Lashley, Hank Lebioda, Kramer Hickok. Some pretty decent names here. I'll slowly go down this range and kind of evaluate it as I go down and see who I like. Cameron Percy at the top, I mean, he has 2 out of 3 made cuts here. He's seen the course 3 times. His last 2 events have been a 25th and an 8th and a 26th before that. So decent form coming in, decent course history. Maybe that's why he's priced this high at 7,900, I guess. Don't really like playing him, but he has pretty good approach play. Just a bad putter overall. The number 1 course history guy up here is probably going to be Cam Percy. Chesson Hadley had a 16th place finish a couple years ago in his only visit here in this upper 7K range. I like Chesson Hadley. He's been, kind of hit or miss the last like couple months, but he's been doing okay. Like, he's been playing a lot of golf and getting some top finishes in the top 20, top 30. So I don't mind Chesson Hadley at 7,600. Sam Ryder has pretty good form coming in, a 36th, a 28th, and a 45th his last 3 events. That's not bad. His only time he's seen this course, he had a missed cut 3 years ago, so I'm not too worried about that. So up here in the upper 7Ks, I'm probably going to say Chesson Hadley is my favorite play. Joseph Bramlett. Let's see what he's done here. Okay, Joseph Bramlett has 2 out of 3 made cuts here. 4 out of his last 5 made cuts on tour. That's a little sneaky kind of play. I don't mind some Joseph Bramlett here if he can get it together. He missed the cut last year, missed his cut last time out on tour. We'll see. So I'll just say Chesson Hadley is my favorite play up here, followed by Cam Percy at 7,900. And then a bubble boy for me in the upper 7s is going to be Joseph Bramlett. All right, dropping down below 7,500, the course history guys are going to be Ryan Armour. He has 2 8th place finishes here and a 67th last year. Peter Malnati had a 7th place finish last year and a 21st place finish the year before. Hank Lebioda has 2 out of 3 made cuts. Kramer Hickok has 3 out of 3 made cuts. None of these guys have any sort of like good recent form or anything like that. So they're all like very sketchy kind of plays as far as like how they're playing right now. But I think you just got to kind of take these course history things into effect and just think that this is a course that they can come at and play well at. So I'm going to say my favorite play in the low 7s is going to be Kramer Hickok. He has a 30th, an 8th, and a 15th here. He's coming in off of 1 out of 5 made cuts, so nothing great. But this is a course he does well at every year. So at 7,000, I really don't mind that play. Peter Malnati at 7,200, 2 top 20 finishes, 2 out of his last 5 made cuts. I like that. Kevin Yu, 7,300. He is an Arizona State guy. He had like one of the best collegiate careers at Arizona State. I think he almost broke some John Rahm records there. 7,300. He's been playing pretty good on tour. 37th his last time out, 19th the time before. 7,300 seems like a pretty good price for him. He's never seen this course before, so Kevin Yu's one of those Corn Ferry guys that I don't mind playing in this price range. Other than that, nobody really jumps out at me. Ben Taylor is okay. He has 2 made cuts here. He's only seen this course twice in 2020 and 21 and 20, and had 2 made cuts, a 49th and a 28th. He's made 4 out of his last 5 cuts on tour. I don't mind that play. It's kind of like a conviction play. So for me, in this 7,000 to 7,400 range, I'm going to say my favorite play is going to be Kramer Hickok at 7,000. My second favorite play is going to be Peter Malnati at 7,200. My third favorite play is going to be Kevin Yu at 7,300. And then a bubble boy kind of play for me would be Ben Taylor at 7,400. I don't mind that. Ryan Armour also, I don't mind it. I mean, he has, like I said, good course history here, 3 out of his last 5 cuts. So he's going to be kind of a bubble boy for me too. I don't really have much other feelings about anyone else in this range. Just kind of looking at these names. Let's see. Tyler Duncan, I guess, a little. He has 3 straight missed cuts, 4 out of his last 5 missed cuts. He's not playing good golf. I can't really go to him. Matthias Schwab in general is a pretty talented golfer, but he's been awful also. 4 out of his last 5 missed cuts, nothing great. I think from what I remember, he might have been the highest priced golfer here last year. I don't really remember, but Hank Lebioda, 2 out of 3 made cuts here, 16th and a 3rd place finish. That's not bad. I don't mind some hammering Hank at 7,000. But yeah, that's all I really got in this low 7K range. I don't really have much else. Bryce Garnett, I actually like him. 7,300. He's one of those guys that plays well in these like coastal courses, these like alternate events. He had a 21st here a couple years ago. 4 out of the last 5 made cuts on tour, so he's playing decent golf. Yeah, I don't mind Bryce Garnett at 7,300 either. So that's all I really got in the 7s. 6Ks. Nothing to really write home about to as far as like good golfers. Chad Ramey at the top at 6,900 had a 17th place finish here last year. I think his win on tour last year was also at an alt event. I think obviously not Bermuda, but one of those other ones, Puerto Rico or something like that. So obviously he's comfortable playing in one of these coastal courses. So don't mind him at 6,900. Dropping down a little more. Camilo Villegas at 6,900 also. He has 2 made cuts here. 3 out of his last 4 made cuts on tour. Not bad. I mean, none of these guys are like I'm running to go play. So they're just kind of blah for me. But I mean, if you're going to drop down this range, which sometimes you have to, it's especially if you're going to skip the 8K range like I am, you got to go to some of these guys. Then the main guy that we got to talk about here is Brian Gay. At 6,700. His 3 finishes at this event are 12th, 1st, and 3rd. So obviously he has something here at this course. 3 great finishes at this course, but he's on the Champions Tour now. He's 50 years old. He hasn't been playing great. He has a bunch of missed cuts in a row. So is this a spot where you just forget how he's playing golf recently and just know that in the last 3 years he's played great here? Probably. I don't mind taking a little stab at him at 6,700. I think he could turn it around at a course that he's comfortable with. Robert Streb is one of those guys that plays good this time of the year, usually at like Mayakoba or RSM. Like those are the courses that he plays good at. 2 made cuts here. 3 out of his last 5 missed cuts. Nothing great, but a little stab on Robert Streb at 6,800. David Lingmerth. Yeah, never mind. I don't want to know David Lingworth. He's not that good. Man, I was high on Michael Kim coming into the swing season. He was playing so good on the Corn Ferry, but he's just been awful this swing season. 2 missed cuts here. Can't go to him. Yeah, so I'm just going to sit here and say my plays are going to be Brian Gay, Chad Ramey, Camilo Villegas, Robert Streb, Anybody below 6,600? Let's see. Kevin Chappell's not he's one of those guys that can get streaky, but he's never played here before. 4 out of the last 5 tournament events have been miscuts, so no, nothing really great there. Cody Gribble looks like he has pretty good recent form. He's never played this course before at 6,500. 4 out of his last 5 made cuts on tour, so pretty good form coming in. 6,500 is not bad. Let's see here. Keep going down. Harry Higgs, man, this guy been awful recently. 5 straight miscuts. I can only see the last 5 events, but he had a second place finish here a few years ago. I don't really ever know what to really do with Harry Higgs. I never really play him. He's pretty bad, but he does have a second place finish here 3 years ago. So maybe that's something if you think he can turn it around here. But he's been god awful recently. Dropping down a little more. David Hearn has 3 made cuts here. That's pretty ugly at 6,400. I can't really go to that. Yeah, I don't really have any other names that I like down here. Ryan Brem at 6,200. 2 made cuts here, but 5 straight miscuts overall on tour. Can't really go there. Yeah, I don't really have anybody below like 6,500. I think the lowest I would even consider going would be Harry Higgs at 6,500, but above that, it's going to be just like Kevin Chappell or Brian Gay, like I said, at 6,700. So really dumpster diving here in the 6K range, but you just got to kind of, close your eyes and throw some darts here to finish out your lineups. But I will try my best not to finish my lineups here. If I'm going to attack the 10K and the 9K range, I think I'm going to try to just finish in the 7K range. Like somebody like Hankley Biota or Kramer Hickok at 7,000 is way better of a play than anyone in the 7K range, in my opinion. So try to finish your lineups off in the 7K range. But if you are going to dip down to 6Ks, maybe just go with the course history guys and Brian Gay and Chad Ramey and Camilo Villegas and stuff like that. All right. That's all I really got for this week. I went 27, about a little less than a half an hour. So thanks for sticking with me. I don't really have much strategy for this week. It's a really bad field. But like I said, the money's the same on DK. If you guys can win 100K this week, you're going to love the Bermuda Championship. So do your best to construct your lineups. Join the Discord. I will put out a little write-up on Wednesday to tell you guys what I like more. Me and Tony will put out some bets for you guys on the Discord and Twitter as well. My Twitter handle is right here below me. I can't even point at it. Right there. Enjoy the Bermuda Championship if you actually watch any of it this week. I mean, for me, the Ravens play on Thursday, so maybe I'll watch some golf this weekend. I think I actually don't even know what the event is next week, but either way, me and Tony will be here, or somebody will be here to cover it. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to tweet at me, slide in my DMs, whatever you guys would like. Join the Discord, talk to me there. I'm here. I'm always tuned in on Discord, but make your lineups. I'll go ahead and give a little pick to win here. My pick to win, let me see. I'll go with Alex Smalley. I like him. I think he's my favorite play on the board this week. 9,500, 12th place finish here last year. He's been playing pretty good golf coming in. I think he has the upside to win a tournament here. So I'll go with Alex Smalley there. At the very top of the board, I'll go with Mark Hubbard. And then a couple bombs. Let's see. Kevin Yu, 7,300. I don't mind that as a bomb. But yeah, that's about it. I don't really got anybody else. But yeah, we'll put some bets off for you guys. Enjoy the week. Go watch the Bermuda Championship. Go Ravens on Thursday. And we'll see you next week.